You'd be in favor of them changing the Constitution for him to run for a third term?
Yeah, unless he turns into a Biden after 3 years,
Okay, and what's your complaint about that?
then no.
Would you be in favor of abolishing the Second Amendment?
No.
What about people who say like, oh, there's been all these school shootings, mass shootings? We need to do something
Give
about the
everybody
second.
a gun.
Just give everybody a gun.
So you would be in favor of abolishing the 22nd Amendment that says we can't have kings, but you wouldn't be in favor of abolishing the Second Amendment, aptly pointing out that this dude doesn't give a shit about the Constitution, never did. It was never about the Constitution. It was always about what he wanted and however he can get it, bottom line. He pretends to care about the Constitution.
That's the solution?
Yeah, that's the solution. It's
Okay.
you can't stop illegals, people. I mean, having an illegal gun.
You can't? Yes, you can. You can reduce the number of guns in the country, and that will reduce the number of attacks. I mean, I don't want to go down this whole rabbit hole, but a lot of the time, a lot of the attacks that take place, in fact, I would venture to say 95% of the attacks that take place, the gun was either obtained legally or it was obtained from a family member who obtained it legally. When he says illegal weapons, he's talking about like guns that are purchased from the cartels that have the serial numbers filed off. That pretty much never happens. If guns are harder, if they're like, if you have to register to have a gun the same way you register to have a car, if you have to take training and you have to prove that you have a gun safe, that it, you know, you keep it in and everything else. If you take owning a gun as seriously as owning a car and you renew your training like every 6 months or year to prove that you are still capable of whatever, I'd be okay with people owning guns then. But AR-15s, no. AK-47s, no. Pistols, no. We should get rid of pistols. Shotguns, if you have training. Rifles, if you have training and you're registered and everything else. But why would somebody need a handgun? What would the purpose of that be? The only purpose of a handgun is to kill somebody. There is literally no other reason to have one. If you're going hunting, you want a rifle. If you want to like defend your farm from like coyotes or something, or even home defense, you want a shotgun. Anyway, it's just really sad that this guy has been so sucked into the propaganda and has not even like realized that he's given up on the Constitution already.
And the only way to defend yourself is with a legal gun.
Okay, great. Legal gun. Fine. So get registered and take the training and prove you know how to use it and all of that other stuff, and make it illegal for people who don't have all of that and confiscate them. Do you notice that they don't feel this way about heroin? There's so much heroin all over the place. We shouldn't be banning heroin. We should make heroin more available. Flood the market with heroin. That's how you reduce heroin use. What?
Should teachers be strapped?
If they want.
If I were a teacher, I'd be strapped.
What about a preschool teacher?
We don't know who's going to shoot those little kids, so yes.
Oh my God, dude. What a debased, vile position to hold.
What about a priest?
You know, that's up to the priest, isn't it?
We have 18 million people on Social Security over 100 years old. People 200 years old, 250 years old.
Did you read about that though?
Ridiculous stuff.
Did you read about that? How they were interpreting the code wrong, and that there actually weren't
No,
those
I
people?
don't think so. I don't think that's
Well,
right.
you're wrong, good sir.
Okay,
You know, everybody.
but why?
people have been
Why do you
lying
think?
about this stuff for years?
Oh, dude, okay. If you're not familiar with this, I was a programmer for like 6 years before YouTube. And I still do some programming and I do web hosting and things. Anyway, I never worked with COBOL, but I knew people that worked with COBOL. And I'm familiar with like the languages and how they operate and all that stuff. Anyway, the Social Security system was written in COBOL to my understanding. And when people, it was a list of basically people taking or people paying into the system. So if somebody pays in, their social security number is logged, and then the amount of money paid in is is taken down. That was the system they were looking at. The payout system ends at 114 years old, period. You have to petition the government to continue payments if you're 115 or older, to my knowledge. But the system that was being kind of examined in that case was one that records the payments as they're coming in. A lot of undocumented immigrants will put down on their forms when they're trying to get a job. They'll just put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 as their social security number. And the money will go into social security under that social security number, and that's it. It never gets paid out because it's not a real social security number. They have to verify this person is real with like their birth certificate and everything if they're going to pay out. There was no date of birth on some of these social security numbers, obviously, because they were just junk numbers people were paying into. In every language, there's a default date. It's basically like the day the internet started, or the day that the first computer came online, the first Unix system or whatever. For like Nintendo products, you'll notice the date is, I believe, January 1st, 1969. If the date is just 0, that's where all calendars begin in Nintendo products. That's because they use C, I believe, and C++ and C-based languages. C-based languages start their dates then, but COBOL, being a much older language, when does COBOL epic start? It depends on the version of COBOL. One epic starts on January 1st, 1601. One COBOL epic starts May 20th, 1875. That's 150 years. And I think that was the one that was inside of, that was the one in the social security system. So anyway, that's why people saw 150 years in some of the systems, because that was where the system started, basically.
You think they were lying, but Elon not lying.
Exactly.
Okay. Them
He has no reason
bad,
to lie.
Elon good.
Yeah.
He has no reason to lie, he says.
He has no reason to lie. He has as much money. He didn't have to. He used to be a Democrat. He didn't have to vote and help Trump get elected.
Well, all the other people who are saying Elon's bad. Elon good.
Yes.
Do you think things have been distilled and simplified too much for Americans? It's almost like being spoon-fed. This is right, this is wrong. People are falling in line a little too easily in this administration.
Because we can believe what's happening.
Okay. So, yes. Literally anybody can believe what's happening. Are you kidding me right now? I mean, put yourself in the shoes of a German in 1933. You could literally say those words about that person at that time. What does that say?
Steve Bannon yesterday did a little bit of a salute. It almost looked like he was doing a Roman salute or a
He very clearly did a Nazi salute.
Nazi salute.
Oh, really?
And you did a little smile afterwards.
Well, he's not a Nazi.
Yes, he is. He absolutely is. Some of these people doing it, I could say they're trolling. They're messing with people. They're trying to get attention and all that. Steve Bannon, very specifically, is a Nazi.
So get over it. It's probably a hand gesture.
Probably a hand gesture?
Fight! Fight! Fight!
What were your thoughts on Elon Musk's hand gesture?
Same thing. He is not a Nazi.
That's a gotcha.
It's the
Would you do that gesture right now?
Hi.
there you go.
She waved. Do you think that's what Bannon was doing? Did you see the look he gave there just right before, though? Look, hang on. Wait. Look at the look on his face right here. Look at this. He knows.
Hi.
There you go.
But it goes. The hand goes to the chest beforehand.
Love you.
That didn't feel a little weird?
He was saying from my heart.
Okay.
Oh my God, they're doing it.
You just did it there.
Yeah. That's not a Nazi salute.
Yes, it is. It is. It very clearly is. And for what it's worth, I've covered this before, so I'm not going to go down the road again, but... Wow, look at that. That looks like a "my heart goes out to you" symbol that Elon Musk just gave. That's interesting, huh?
This one.
He literally he did the "my heart goes out to you" thing. It didn't look like a Nazi salute to me, personally. I don't know about you guys. Did it look like a Nazi salute just now? Huh.
Shit happens, right?
Yeah. Okay.
Just as a Jew, just World War II was like, whoa, so many millions of people, and so
Oh, that's a really interesting idea here. I'm obviously very uncomfortable with the fact that people are Sieg Heiling so much as well, just like him. And I'm not Jewish. I have no ties to Judaism at all. But pointing out the fact that he's Jewish is kind of drawing attention to the fact that Trumpists are supposed to be pro-Israel at all costs. That's kind of, there are a lot of Christian Zionists out there who believe that Jesus will return in Israel, and Israel must exist for him to return. So they want Israel to control the region, but you also get like these people who are full-blown Nazis. In fact, a lot of the people that vote for Trump are full-blown Nazis. They don't like Israel. They like Jesus and want him to return, and believe that Israel existing must be like a prerequisite to that. That's it. That's as far as it goes. So trying to appeal to this guy's sense of pro-Israel, whatever, that's an interesting strategy that he's going with here.
just World War II was like, whoa, so many millions of people. And so when people are doing the Nazi salute in one of the major parties, I'm kind of like, whoa, this is a dystopian hellscape. I'm saying it feels
I love that. Whoa, it's a dystopian hellscape. Yeah, I mean, he's absolutely correct. The fact that they're normalizing the Nazi salute like this, here's the thing. People are not in favor of the Nazi salute, like people like this guy or like the previous guy. He's very clearly not saying, I am a Nazi, I believe the Jews, blah, 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 blah. He's not saying any of that. He's clearly saying they were trolling and people need to stop being so sensitive. But that very quickly turns into basically an acceptance of this kind of behavior, and slowly but surely moves this window of acceptable public discourse further and further to the right. So it starts with people like this saying, oh, he's just trolling, it's not a big deal. And that turns into, well, maybe we should be doing the Nazi salute. Like when Trump says, long live the king. Oh, he's just trolling, it doesn't mean anything. That slowly moves into, well, a king wouldn't be so bad. It lets the king wouldn't be so bad people out of the closet. It's an unacceptable position right now to say something like that. But allowing those people to be more vocal about the fact that they do want Trump to be a king makes it more likely that, they can, allows them to convince more people of their position. That's what's happening. That's why this is such a dangerous road. That's why we don't want this. That's why we don't want to normalize something like a Nazi salute. It's unacceptable, bottom line. There's this comic from 1965, and it was by a guy named John Patler. White Man was the name of it. White Man. And it was Superman with a swastika on his chest instead of a big S. This is the KKK. This is what the KKK has always wanted. Nazis got their race laws from the KKK. They are one in the same. Nazis were the German version of the KKK, effectively. So when the Nazis, went away in Germany, they revived in the United States and elsewhere. It's an ideology that will not die. So this guy, John Patler, draws White Man, and in the comic it says, if you're listening rather than watching, I'll read it to you. It says, Jew commies tremble, N-word criminals quake in fear, liberals head for the hills, here comes White Man. Twice as fast as the speed of light, more powerful than atomic energy, smart as a whip, arch enemy of Jew communist traitors, and all race mixers. White Man fights an interplanetary duel with a diabolical fiend, the Jew from outer space. White Man also battles, I don't know if I can say that word. I'll spell it. Super COON is who White Man battles. A Stormtrooper magazine special. Stormtrooper, by the by, was what Hitler's personal bodyguards called themselves. And his personal bodyguards eventually turned into the military. It's kind of how he sidestepped the international laws against Germany having more than 100,000 foot soldiers. He just had bodyguards and he expanded out like the Proud Boys, basically. It operated like the Proud Boys and it was militarized, so they trained like a military. Hitler's Proud Boys did. They were called themselves the SA. What was SA? Sturmabteilung, maybe. Sturmabteilung. And it basically meant storm trooper, also known as brown shirts. And the Schutzstaffel split off as a subdivision of the SA, the SS, Schutzstaffel. Schutzstaffel meant protective echelon, and they eventually turned into Hitler's bodyguards, the SS did. The brown shirts were like the military down the line, and the Schutzstaffel, or the protective echelon, or the SS, were his bodyguards, and then turned into the police, basically. So Stormtrooper is basically a direct translation of SA, or what the brown shirts named themselves, Stormtroopers. In the city of Arlington, milkman Lou Core delivers milk to his customers. Suddenly, a loud shout interrupts his work. Help! Huh? Looks like a job for white man! Arlington Milk Co. on the side of this thing. Okay. I understand that Lou Core was a play on the name of the co-creator of this comic. George Lincoln Rockwell, the neo-Nazi leader, sometimes wrote under the pseudonym Lou Core. Like Lincoln Rockwell, Lou Core. I'm not sure what the connection is, but they sound kind of similar, I suppose. Apparently, the person who wrote this comic shot and killed George Lincoln Rockwell, too. Wow. The secret words are spoken. Lee Geis. Sieg Heil spelled backwards. Wow, that's clever. A bolt of lightning. Voom. And Lou Core is transformed into White Man. These are the types of people we're dealing with, guys. I'm telling you, like, the Nazi Party was an extension of the KKK. And the KKK is signaling their support for the Nazi Party today. So every time you see somebody Sieg Heil, be aware that this is a gesture that the KKK's been using for a long time. They're just normalizing the KKK, effectively.
Feels a little dystopian when it's like, oh, they were joking, or they just waved wrong or something.
Like it goes out with my heart.
Oh, there you did it again. All right.
Absolutely insane. They're normalizing this. They are normalizing an acceptance of violence as an answer to a problem.
What you like about Lindsey Graham?
Well, he is working every day to scuttle Donald Trump's America First and MAGA agenda.
Does that mean to stop it in this context? I'm not sure what he means exactly by scuttle it here.
I mean, openly supporting Zelensky while Donald Trump's having a public feud with Zelensky.
Running around the stage, richest man on earth, running around the stage with a chainsaw, making weird, like, squealing, squeaking noises. And then, he did an interview with his sunglasses on, and he was just kind of, was it strange or no? Was it normal to you?
No, it was not strange. It was unique.
Yeah, because a lot of
Right, because Elon was running around on stage with a chainsaw. Okay.
people are saying it's kind of like kind of a dystopian hellscape right now, because you have the richest man on earth who's now has a very important position in the government and is just awarding himself a bunch of money, firing hardworking people, and everyone's celebrating it. And he's running around on stage with a chainsaw.
We should be celebrating that because there's so much waste in the government.
So it's not
That he literally just described Elon creating more waste in the government. Look, Doge is not about waste in the government. It's not. If it were about waste in the government, instead of cutting Social Security, he would have cut Starlink satellite deals. He would have cut deals. He would have raised taxes on the rich if it were about making it more efficient and lowering the debt and the deficit. There is no reason to lower taxes on the rich. Zero. If you think there's a reason to lower taxes on the rich, you're a fool. I know they claim this whole trickle-down economics thing, and that was a cute answer for about 20 years, from 1980 to 2000. It's not cute or logical or meaningful anymore. It's trash, and everybody knows that it's trash.
a dystopian hellscape.
No,
Do you think the Bible should be taught in public schools?
Absolutely. Yeah, yeah. I mean, they teach what communism and the Communist Manifesto, and they teach
No, they don't. I've never read the Communist Manifesto, and I went to public school.
evolution and
But should it be
When we learn things,
should it be
the Bible.
should it be taught as a history book, a science book?
so hold on. You're a fan of the government education in general? I think government education should be entirely abolished.
Oh, really? Okay. So
Yeah.
no more public schools.
Correct, because it's a plank of the communist platform, like 10th or 11th plank, overtly.
What?
Why do
You're telling me the Communist Manifesto, the 11th plank of the Communist Manifesto, I'm just trying to get the argument correct here, says that we should provide public education. And since the communists do it, we shouldn't do it. Did you know that communists also drink water? Are you aware of that? I found that out recently, and it kind of freaked me out. Maybe I shouldn't be drinking water myself. I mean, these people are like so fucking stupid, man. I'm sorry. This is so ridiculous. Anyway, yeah, tell me what you think.